Grassroots Sessions.
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well. Square, push your ignorant, surely a smile has broken that spell. I'm here amongst the disappearing, domineering, seemingly washed ashore, but they live in fear. As I see we green light, war and composure, whom took a new look at life and educated the explosion. We live in motion, Mr. Static Extreme, potent dream, stroke the stream with your cushion by the flush spleen. Precious scenes we received as forwarding, that cognitive inkling, foggy gods and that bling thing, embracing all those and still thinking like, hey, wave of entrapment. It happened when the leaves of the tea hit them bags back when seas were mere fragments of freedom. To truly believe lies here, let's see. When blinded by the sun like caffeine, we convene upon. Cause it's 5:15 and I'm lonely again, and my self-esteem doesn't alter the pain. And most people seem to walk without shame, but I stay here. Chapter 5, verse 15. And the wandering shepherd said, behold, we saw black, then we saw white. One became two and then one again. Occam's reign, razor explained and almost engraved, but almost is too close for enslavement. Though those ghosts on the pavement, where those slow restraint gauges to hooks their delusional ways in more consumable phases, room for improved mangers. Sail our babies to a perpetual state of angel. It may be the global crave if awaited, fed from this annulus ladle is the roots of one love. Renditions of one's what many became. The start of our becoming the same, because what time moves doesn't choose. Dozens bruise, brothers lose, sisters, mothers, fathers, daughters, and sons in abundance. Or dungeon lies, eyes on crumbs and miss all points. One black, one white, hide and soul. Religion missed, alchemist, the alchemist who truly understands gold. Cause it's 5:15 and I'm lonely again, and my self-esteem doesn't alter the pain. And most people seem to walk without shame, but I stay here. Cymatic ray,
That's my frequency.
cymatic ray,
That's my frequency.
cymatic rays, frequently enough to feed these boots, the loose, and then the toots, conduce, skin and confuse, reduce pineal fruits for mankind, stars of particle shards of a great mandala in stars. And I know soon that we shall see that far, but it's 5:15 and I'm lonely again, and my self-esteem Hello, beautiful beings.
Thank you so much for tuning into this Grassroots Sessions. We've had lots of requests for this song, so
Yes.
it's been a pleasure to share it with you today.
Yes, but we're going to do this talk a little later tonight because our son has just woken up in our nomadic home and we need to tend to him first. So, blessings to you.
See you soon.
Hello, beautiful beings. Thank you for joining us on Grassroots Sessions. We had a few requests for 5:15, so we're feeling really blessed that people know of our work, and that today's version was spontaneous to say the least. So basically I wrote that song nearly 12 years ago now, and it's very much inspired by my own father's work. He has an art project called 5:15, and you can check that out at www.515.world. And that's his new website. He's also got 515.org.uk as well. And if you go on that website, you will be just mesmerised at the depth that he's gone to with metaphysics and art and philosophy and all of these incredible things that from a young age my dad was talking to me about. It's basically the exploration of his own artistic journey. And so 5:15 for me, when I was 20, I was just moving out of my dad's house. The chorus was very much reflective of a sense of feeling lonely on an artistic journey and wanting to unify with people as an artist, but the chorus has evolved into meaning so much more than that. People feeling lonely for many reasons. But initially the chorus represented a sense of loneliness in a perception of life, I think, in a way of perceiving life artistically. So there's a lot of cryptic lyrics in that song, which I remember when I met Katie, she was fascinated by what's beneath the metaphors.
I think I fell in love with Alex when I heard this song, and I was like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
What does this bit mean?
But
what's that word mean? I was getting the dictionary.
It's
such a great song.
Thank you.
And I feel so honoured to be able to perform alongside Alex on that song.
Thank you. Yeah, the violin style and the way you sing to it is just such an incredible addition and accompaniment. So thank you for that. And
if you've not seen the music video to this song yet, please check it out. It's
we
really
created
beautiful.
a music video together, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we tried to explore some of the influences of my dad's art through the music video, didn't we?
Yeah.
Really harsh black and white footage.
Yeah.
Also exploring cymatics, which is the study of visible sound. And my dad goes much deeper than we do with this sort of study. And so the lyrics, go do that voodoo that you do so well, square pusher ignoring Charlie, a smile has broken that spell. It's pretty bizarre first line, but it was literally inspired, I have to say, by a friend of the band at the time who lost his dad tragically, and the way he was able to transform that grief into a smile. Sorry. It's just all coming back. And it,
it's such a beautiful song.
And the notion of a smile breaking that spell, is just basically saying to myself, we're not going to waste any more time doing something mundane in this world. We're going to live our lives creatively, and we're going to do it to the fullest. Sad seaweed green was a representation of my ASDA uniform at the time. And that was my mundane job. And when we started the band, Warden Composure was a representation of where Dave Watkins worked, who took a new look at life. Tom Robinson worked at New Look, and educated the explosion. That was Sean, I was at college, and Nathan Bow, who was in the band. These are all band members of Mobius Loop when this song was written. Educated the explosion. Bowie worked for BAE, and they make weapons, and he was torn by working there and being in Mobius Loop, and
eventually, you know, songs like that and the incredible songs that came through at that time, eventually we all quit those mundane jobs and went on the road together. And although we didn't, you know, it only lasted a couple of years, that initial lineup, it definitely transformed our lives and made us all pursue a more creative life. And I'm just so grateful for that time.
And the music was incredible. When I first met Alex, he was performing with those guys, and the music was amazing. Is there still recordings of that music? Because I used to listen to it on your MySpace page. That's
yeah,
how
MySpace.
old that is. Is it still
it's
there?
It's frozen. That page is there, but I don't know what happened to MySpace.
Yeah,
but
really
I'm trying to get all them songs. Dave Watkins has got most of those songs from that era.
Some amazing ones, and we're going to do one of those songs
we are gonna
on a future Grassroots as well. And wow, it would be incredible to get the guys back maybe to do one of the songs,
yeah, it would
maybe
be,
one or two of them.
They're amazing brothers, and they all went off to do their own thing. And Sean, eventually, my brother, actual blood brother, he came back to the band, and he's now a part of this trinity of Mobius Loop 12 years later. And yeah, it was just, it was a time when, because we were young, we felt quite ashamed to want to be artists and musicians in this world from working class backgrounds. And you know, it took the shock of you know, a friend's unfortunate death of a father to just all of us to be more headstrong about that, especially me as a songwriter. I just thought so there's that I mean, I can't believe it's made me cry talking about it. I've not really spoken to anyone about it. And
yeah, because I just learned loads about that song, and I've been asking for 10 years about it, and I just learned loads then. And
then it goes on to, you know, explosion, we live in motion midst the static extreme, potent dream, shook the stream. You know, it's just starting to go into a surreal one about the static nature of being in the mundane and just releasing yourself into the creative and the surreal. Like, I just personally left college where I studied, you know, photography, and I was able to specialise in surrealism, and I just really opened that side of my brain. And my dad tried to educate me in working communally as an art group, and he had 515, funnily enough, was an art group that he ran that took over studios in Preston in Lancashire, and he would host like 100 odd artists' works, and he was very adamant that nothing was for sale, and it was the power of the art and the spirit of the art. And he was raising me and my brother in this bohemian household where we just had enough, you know, we just had enough coming in to cover the bills. But what was more important was that there was art was true and was powerful. And my dad would say, penetrate the veil, you know, of people's perception, and you know, never be held back by any sort of constraints on artistic expression. And I just feel so grateful for that. He's such an amazing artist, your dad. He's still going strong, and he's incredible. His artwork is phenomenal. It's still it's such an inspiration to us both and to so many people. And he's a visual artist primarily, but even as children, he was making music and visual art back then, and he makes music now, but his main thing is visual art. And so the song, the first verse is basically just a young man coming into adulthood and trying to shake off the shackles of being told to get a proper job, you know, and not just that, just being in a group of 5 lads, you know, trying to be a band and having a sense of purpose and intent behind our music, and not just making music to sell a product. And that didn't get us very far at all. But
the lyrics are so beautiful though. I used to go to Mobius Loop gigs before I was a part of Mobius Loop, and I used to be so captivated by the lyrics. And I remember I used to go up to Alex after the gigs and be like, what does this word mean, and what does that word mean? And I loved to see it. It was so inspiring to see someone singing about something. It was really beautiful.
Hush, it seems we receive as forwarding the cognitive inkling, foggy gods and that bling thing, embracing all those and still thinking like a wave of entrapment. It happened when the leaves of the tea hit the bags, back when seas were mere fragments of freedom, to truly believe licentier. And Licentier was the first name of Mobius Loop. We were called that for like a few weeks on the open mic circuit in Preston, and it means freedom in Latin. Which, you know, there was this mad wizard back then called Jack the Wizard who used to come and go all the time. He's still knocking about Preston. Wonderful friend of mine. He taught me a lot about poetry. Big white beard, mad guy, different shoes on each foot, always pushing a trolley full of bags, holding up all the cars on the street. And he'd teach me mad Latin, and we named the band that for a few weeks, and the open mic kept introducing us as Placenta. So we were like, right,
So
we'll use Licentier as a song title. So there's another song called Licentier, and I just, to truly believe Licentier, let's see. When blinded by the sun like a fiend we convene upon, because it's 5:15 and I'm lonely again, you know, and it's just about us being courageous enough to just pursue this creative life. And
it's such a powerful chorus.
It's a lonely trip being an artist, you know, it's not easy, and I don't even think it's easier for those artists out there who get famous. I think they get even lonelier, and I'm just surrounded by a beautiful family, and our sons and Katie, and even my dad is still fully supports what we do, and my brother's in the band, and I've still got beautiful relationships with the people who used to be in Mobius Loop, and we have a beautiful following supporting us on Patreon. And this song it means something different now. Like back then it was almost like a secret, like you didn't even know about some of the meanings there. And the second verse, it begins with chapter 5 verse 15. And the wandering shepherd said, "Behold, we saw black, and then we saw white. One became two, and then one again." And this is literally a Bible verse my dad wrote. He added to the Bible, which is forbidden to do.
So naughty.
Such an inspiring dad. Yeah, so in Revelations, chapter 5 ends at verse 14. And go and check chapter 5 verse 14 out, because my dad has added chapter 5 verse 15. And 515 is a number that has led my dad down so many corridors of artistic expression, and the chapter 5 verse 15 is one of them. It's also led him down roots of numerology and cymatics, like I was saying, and just other little, you know, people connect with numbers. There's just been serendipities throughout his life, and I've been strongly affected by that and called to be an artist because of that. And that second verse is a bit more blatant. There's ghosts on the street where their throat restraint gauges to hoax their delusional ways in more consumable phases. It's just about being, you know, like I'm from Preston in Lancashire. It's a mill town, and there's the ghosts of the mill town, and the people were enslaved essentially to work in these mills for nothing. Children and men and women, and the people of England, and they were brought there from Ireland and all parts of the world. And you just feel these ghosts in Preston that marched down these streets, cobbled streets, to the factories, and had no aspirations for life other than whether they get some food at the end of that working day. And those haunting memories inspiring me again to push out of the mundane and into a creatively explosive life that I now am so honoured to share with my union, Katie, and our boys. And sail our babies to a perpetual state of angel, you know, like, that's the second part of that second verse. Maybe the global crave we've awaited, fed from this annulus ladle, you know, to feed everyone deserves feeding, and is essentially saying that. And all people deserve the right to pursue their artistic journey, I feel, and people just they're not encouraged to do it. And I was just very lucky that I had an incredible family that did support me to do that. And although it's not been like financially rewarding artistically and, you know, spiritually, I'm rich beyond anything I could imagine. And that one, how come the alchemist truly understands gold? That was very much inspired by the idea that in alchemy the notion of gold is actually a state of mind that can be attained, you know, and that is to do with perception on the earth, very much like what religions try and portray. Enlightenment isn't like winning a race. It's a state of mind, and it's a peace within ourselves. And then the third verse, cymatic race. This is touching on. A lot of it is definitely from the millions of hours of conversations I heard my dad having with all the artists that used to come to this incredible house in Preston where I was raised, in a bohemian house, and my dad's always hosting deep philosophical chats about art and where it was, and cymatics was coming up back then, and cymatic race, it's my frequency, it's our frequency, the idea that we are vibrating particles, and that just splits the atom wide open, doesn't it? That essentially we are just vibration, and so then what is this? It's all dancing into this incredible physical entity that thinks and has consciousness and reflective neurons and empathy and compassion. All this, like, the world is just unfathomless, and it's from there where we just get so much hope for the future as well. It's just so complex and incredibly beautiful, and it kind of, is there a designer? I don't know. I don't think that any of the religions have managed to put their finger on if if who designed it, but I think if you look into my dad's work, he definitely believes that there is intelligence within the design of all of this, the fractals of life, and the flower of life, the seed of life, all these patterns you'll see in my dad's art. And that very last line, and I know soon that we shall see that far. I think it's just hope that this perception will blossom within all people, and we'll just love each other for the incredible creatures that we are, human beings. We're conscious of the most immense realities, and they're not all the same. Although we try and hold each other to the same reality, we all have a different perception of what the world is. And if we could just hold each other in the highest regard, and love each other from children right the way through to our inevitable deaths, then I just think everyone would. I received so much love as a child, and I try and share that with everyone I meet, and I try and share the love that me and Katie have, and we welcome everyone to come and see our music, and we are inspired by so many people, and by everyone. Like, this is the point of the song, is that you don't have to be talented at anything to be inspirational. Like, just the fact that you are there, you are resonating right there with your soul, and it's just, I can't believe we're talking about this song now on camera. It's like, it's been a bit of a metaphysical journey. It's sort of underpinned my own sort of strength through all the hard times of being an artist, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to write something as cryptic and as meaningful as that. Like, I feel like there's a lot of fruition has come as a result of it, and blessings to the beautiful man who inspired that lyric. A smile has broken that spell, because it just snapped me out of it and made me go full force as an artist. I thank you, brother. You know who you are, and
thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
You're amazing. And thank you all for joining us and for sharing that with us as well. Do ask in the comments if you have any questions about that song. I'm going to write all my questions in the comments. I've been asking for 10 years, so maybe I'll get some answers.
You might get some now, yeah. Oh, one more thing. The little riff that it is, 5:15, it's just E minor, C, B7 sort of vibe, but it's very simple. It's more to do with expression, but I remember Nathan Ball teaching me guitar all those years ago, and he was just like casually plucking E minor, and I was like, what was that? And it's amazing when you learn a new instrument and you're sort of inclined to songwrite, anything is inspirational, isn't it? And just honour that sound came through you there, Nathan, and thank you so much for inspiring it. And
Thank
Feel
you
very
so
blessed
much,
right now.
guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Please do subscribe to our channel and hit notifications. We've got many more songs to share with you guys. Definitely let us know below if there's any particular song of ours you'd like to hear. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Oh, and support us on Patreon if you're not
Please
already.
do.
We love you, patrons.
Thank you,
for making the
patrons.
channel possible.
Your names are at the end of these sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
That's it.
Bye.
Grassroots Sessions is made possible by our wonderful patrons who support us on Patreon. Thank you so much to all of you beautiful beings.
Please join our Patreon today to help us create more videos. Donations are also very welcome here.